Yeah, thanks for waiting for this. It was a millennial pause, if you know what this means. So at first I would like to say thank you for the organizers to having me here, speaking in front of such a beautiful crowd. My name is Mikhail Levchenko, and the title of my talk is Developer Productivity as a Product. And a cheeky little subtitle says, for tech leads, engineering managers, and curious developers. I think that this is an opportunity to let us know each other. So raise your hand if you are a tech lead. Anyone? Wow, nice. Wow, 4 tech leads here. Okay, engineering manager, so a tech lead or a team lead or higher. Yeah. Okay, and curious developer. Okay, thanks. So I think the others will also enjoy this talk, but you know, this is my target audience. So after I know a little bit about you, let me tell a little bit about me. I work at Yandex Classifieds. We do everything related to buying and selling cars, apartments, houses, and also booking hotels and flights. Trust me, these businesses are highly related to each other. And I work there, and my title is Developer Productivity Engineer. And sometimes when I introduce myself on such parties like this, people tell me, wait, this job title sounds made up. Oh. And I can assure you it absolutely is. I made this up myself. When we were first building our team of developer productivity here at Yandex Classifieds. And what I really do, day-to-day job, is to improve development process for more than 80 mobile developers in our company. And the reason this title sounds a little bit made up, because there were different approaches to productivity, different marketing names for that, and the 3 are developer experiences. It was started to appear in the mid-10s with the introduction of user experience. So swap user to developer and you get developer experience. It's all about tooling and such. And then there was platform engineering in the late 10s, and in the early 20s, there was introduced a developer productivity engineering by the paper by the Microsoft, which was named Space, the reason for developers being productive or something like that. And how I see this, all of these methodologies, if you look at the developer experience, it mostly focuses on building and testing and the tools, the IDEs the developers use. And platform engineering more focused on deploy and operation of any particular product, and building a software as a service to let developers run their code without the help of the service administration guys and girls. And developer productivity encompasses all of the development process from start to finish. And when I was switching my job from being an Android tech lead, it was amazing at first. I was allowed to build any tool I could think of, and I thought my team needed for years. I would be allowed to change all of the processes to my liking and really scratch this automation itch every developer should have, and also deliver happiness to my colleagues. But Then after years, the memory of being a developer started to fade away, and all of the low-hanging fruits I was always thinking about were eaten, and I started to feel detached from the camaraderie of being a developer. And then I realized I must join the product management side. I must unleash the hidden product manager in myself to view the developer process as a product. And yeah, this is how I imagine every product, by the way, like a Jenga. Okay, and if you are building a product, let me give you a product management 101, just right here. First, you need to meet your stakeholders, then you need to prepare some vision of how your product would behave. Then you need to build model and metrics to support you clinging to that vision. And then you must find problems and provide solutions and loop it forever. And let's first take a look at our stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders of the development process? These are the developers themselves. And what they want ease of change and the feedback. Feedback can be their salary or the pat on the back from their manager saying how good they are, or really seeing the end users in the crowd using their applications in the wild. And the second stakeholder is the top management. What they want? Well, they want to extract value from the developers. They invested in them, and they want a return on these investments. And they want to make their products competitive on the market. And what the middle line management wants? They want sustainable team performance. They want to act as a middleman between the developers who want the job to be easy and the top management who wants to extract more value. And then there are other professions. What they want, really the same as developers and cross-team efficiency. But what all of they want is that they all want to be more productive. And that's a plus, that's a shared goal. And to build upon this shared goal, we need a vision. I thought a lot about this and came up with a simple motto: happy developers build better software faster. And here we see three distinct values: happiness of the developers, or they will leave the company, building faster, or the competition will eat us, and better software, or our users will leave us. So nothing can be thrown away. Okay, and now that we have met our stakeholders, we built our vision, we need model and metrics. And here I need to make a disclaimer so strong that it inverted my presentation. So humans, they all like quantum particles. What this means? They change their behavior when they are observed. And every gameable metric will be gamed against yourself. And it could also undermine trust, and without trust, there's no productivity. So to be a developer productivity engineer means to be a middleman between the business and the developers. Make this ends meet. And to proceed with this talk, I need you all to take an oath of developer productivity engineer. So repeat after me. I shall not collect individual level metrics. Nice. I shall compare processes, not people. I shall never let people become just numbers on a dashboard. Nice. You're all ready to become developer productivity engineers. Congratulations. Yeah, good job.
Where we need to send our line.
Okay. So how do we measure developer productivity? There are different frameworks. I would like to highlight 3 of them. The first is DORA. It is well-known development metrics framework introduced by the DevOps movement, and it focuses on speed of delivery, reliability of software, and does it mostly with the empirical metrics. So what are these metrics? First is the deployment frequency. How often do you deploy new software on production? Lead time. How much time does it take from the idea to be handled to the users on the production? Fail rate. How often do your software crash in production? And recovery time. How long does it take to recover after these crashes? And the design of this metrics framework is very human indeed, as you can see. And that's why the DevX crowd stepped in and focused on humans, on the developers themselves. And they focus on developer satisfaction and mainly does this with self-reported metrics, because you can't have a ruler, you can stick to the developer and tell how satisfied they are. And the first component of this metrics framework is feedback loops. How long does it take for a developer to receive feedback on their job? Maybe they will find the error after the compilation, or maybe after the test suite will run, or maybe they will see it on a CI, or a fellow QA engineer will step in and say that their code is indeed not well. Or the issue will continue to move to the users and will get a crash on production. So how long a feedback loop? A cognitive load, how many things a developer needs to juggle in their head to get the job done. Is their components are easily pluggable, or they need to change like 500 places to get anything registered in their code base, their new shiny component. And then the flow state. How long the periods of uninterrupted deep work time they could afford, when they are not distracted by meetings, by the chats, by the occasional, I don't know, fire alarms or anything. And then, as you can see, here all metrics are self-reported and you can't really truly trust them. So, and it seems like the DORA and DevX are complementing each other. So yeah, DX4 coming for help to combine these metrics. And it introduces a new thing, a business performance metrics. So they grabbed the developer experience framework, added failure rate from the DORA, and then the self-reported metrics, percentage of time spent on new features. Because when business hires a team of developers, they're hiring them for developing new features, not for refactoring the code base, not for, I don't know, working on optimization, on tests, or something for the new features. It's as simple as that. And this is a neat shortcut to count this return on investment. And then there's really, how it's good to say it. So this metric I don't really like, diff spent per engineer, because it always raises some questions, because hey, I can push this complicated feature in like 100 commits if you want. So this is an example of gameable metric, and I'm against of this. So of course, like every respectable engineer, when I noticed that nothing helps me, I invented a new standard. So this is my metrics toolkit V3. So you know it's not V0. You can trust this. And I grabbed a reliability metrics from Dora. Developer experience is a nice package you can always have and should always have in your developer productivity measurement toolkit. And I grabbed a percentage of time spent on new features because it really helps to sell this kind of improvements to the top management. And then there is time to merge, which is instead of lead time from Dora, because I mainly work with mobile developers, and time to production is not really feasible metrics there, because you have the stores have review time, you can't really push it faster than once per week, because it's stupid to go more of this. And also, every user needs to manually update or agree to update your app. So time to merge is more practical for us. And you should do the same. You should always make your own model and agree on it with your stakeholders, because it will save you a lot of time, because every time you will invent a new project to improve these metrics, you will know that this is the metrics toolkit you agreed on to follow, that if these numbers go up, you are doing a good job. So you will easily sell this to your upper management. And then you should know that these are the metrics, your monitorings, your like real user monitorings from the previous talk, and you need also a debugging tool, so your drill downs. So if some metrics differ between teams, what should you do next? This is Who Wants to Become a Developer Productivity Engineer show. And variant A, create a layoff list from the team of underperformance. B, tell top management to give overperformance a raise. C, join the team of underperformance to help them deliver faster. And D, research differences in the process and drive change. What do you think the right answer to this question is? Anyone? Raise your hand. A? A, lay off the underperformers. Yeah. It's a ruthless world. Okay. All of it at once. Wow. Okay. I kid you not, the D is the correct answer. You remember the O's you gave, all of you. So, to evolve the process as product, you first need to conduct a deep interview. You need to grab some teammates and really deep down into how it works, how the process is structured, and what makes the obstacles on their path to success. And then you need to formulate a hypothesis, like in if I do X, then something happens. And then you need to create a custom metric to measure this hypothesis. And then you need to create a minimal prototype, preferably not a tool, but a part of the process. Because if you automate a process that doesn't exist, you automate nothing. And then conduct a small test, and if it works, do a leap of faith and roll out. And I should tell you that interviews are really effective. It is a recent tool in my toolkit of being a developer productivity engineer. And interviewing developers and others other involved in the process is really helping with spotting inefficiencies in the process, because developers are literally the people who are trained to spot inefficiencies and also creating automations. This is their job, this is their professional deformation, like mental, and you should exploit it. And also, they will help you to bring more context on the problem, because again, if you do this process work 24/7, you start to forget how the things really done. And then you do product increments. As I said, formulate your hypothesis, collect an preferably empirical metric, because again, humans are like quantum particles. If you start to pay attention to their problems, they can just feel happier about it and report that everything is better now. And then build an MVP and accept or reject the hypothesis. So, for example, like a really crude example, I name it ghostly meetings. So developers complain about the amount of meetings in the developer experience survey. And we confirm this in interviews that indeed they're stressed out about the number of meetings. And we formulate a hypothesis that if there are a lot of meetings, the developers are frustrated. As simple as that. And let's count the number of meetings. But when we counted this metric, the number of meetings was low. It was maximum of 2 to 3 meetings a day, and most days were without meetings at all. So we formulated a second hypothesis. Meetings are spread out throughout the day, and therefore developers lose flow state, and therefore they're frustrated. And we invented a meeting mean interrupted work time by grabbing their calendars, and shifted all the meetings to the morning, confirmed the effect while talking with developers, and then the main thing here is the gap. There's always the gap between developers saying, I feel more productive, and the metrics saying they are indeed really more productive now. So you always need to cross this gap with a leap of faith. You can't really confirm or run an A/B experiment for several months with one team doing thing A, with other teams doing thing B, because you have such a small amount of developers in your companies. It always like 10 for a team max, and often a little bit less. So you can't really collect enough empirical metrics in a reasonable time. So you always need to do a leap of faith and roll out it across all of your company, and then confirm with your monitoring that something changed. And remember, there are no two development processes alike, and therefore there's no definitive answer to productivity. And if you need key thoughts from this talk, the first one is to get in touch with your developers and identify bottlenecks. Then create a test hypothesis with metrics. And always start small, start with process, and build those only as a last resort. And use your findings to scale change across the organization. And find your own way to be productive. And you can share it with me on my LinkedIn, or if you understand Russian or can enable the automatic translation in your Telegram, you can subscribe to my channel. And that's it. I'm now waiting for your questions. And as you can see, I know a little something about productivity. And without motivation, there is no productivity. So here would be 2 prizes for best questions. Yes, please.